On a crisp Sunday in Philadelphia, November 16, 2025, two NFC powerhouses clashed in a game that, honestly, felt more like a late January playoff battle than just a Week 11 regular season contest. The Philadelphia Eagles hosted the Detroit Lions in a matchup with, some really significant postseason implications. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard read 16-9 in favor of the Eagles, and that scoreline tells a story not of offensive fireworks, but of a gritty, hard-nosed defensive war. This wasn't a high-flying shootout, it was a street fight in the trenches, and the Eagles' defense came out swinging, landing every important blow and reminding the league of their championship DNA. Coming into this game, the Detroit Lions were, honestly, one of the hottest teams in the entire NFL. They were riding high, boasting one of the most explosive offenses in football, a unit that was averaging over 31 points per game. Quarterback Jared Goff was leading an attack that just seemed unstoppable, and Coach Dan Campbell's aggressive, go-for-it mentality had really instilled a fearless identity in his squad. The Lions weren't just hoping to make the playoffs, they had their eyes firmly set on securing a top seed and a first-round bye, which is a real testament to the incredible culture they've built in Detroit. On the other side of the field stood the Philadelphia Eagles, a team with Super Bowl aspirations of their own. While their offense had shown flashes of brilliance, it had also been inconsistent, scoring only one touchdown in the previous week. The Eagles knew their path to victory, especially at home in front of their passionate fans, often runs through their defense. They understood that to stop a juggernaut like the Lions, it wouldn't be about outscoring them in a track meet. It would be about imposing their will, controlling the line of scrimmage, and turning a high-powered offense into a frustrated, sputtering machine. The stakes for this game were incredibly high, and everyone knew it. For the Eagles, a win would dramatically increase their chances of capturing the NFC's coveted #1 seed, giving them a crucial home field advantage throughout the playoffs. A loss, however, would have been a devastating blow, dropping their odds significantly. For the Lions, a victory on the road against a fellow contender would have been a massive statement. It would have validated their status as a true Super Bowl threat and kept them in the hunt for that all-important first-round bye. The stage was set for a titanic struggle. From the opening kickoff, it was clear that the Philadelphia Eagles' defense came to play. They didn't just contain the Lions' high-powered offense, they completely dismantled it. This was a defensive performance for the ages, a true masterclass in strategy, execution, and sheer physicality. The Lions' offense, which had been carving up defenses all season long, looked utterly lost and overwhelmed. They were held to a season-low 9 points, which is honestly a far cry from their impressive 31-point average. Every time Detroit seemed to gain a little momentum, the Eagles' defense would slam the door shut, creating a wall of green and white that the Lions just could not break through. A major storyline of the game was the Lions' struggles on fourth down, which has been a signature of their aggressive identity under Coach Dan Campbell. Throughout the game, Campbell rolled the dice, attempting 5 crucial fourth down conversions. In any other game, this boldness might have paid off, but on this day, the Eagles' defense was an immovable object. They stuffed the Lions on all 5 attempts. Media group: Eagles celebrating turnover on downs. Eagles crowd cheering after fourth down stop. Lions offense walking off after failed fourth down. A stock would distribute equally, turning what is usually a strength for Detroit into a critical weakness. These stops were not just plays, they were massive momentum swings that electrified the home crowd and visibly frustrated the Lions' sideline, honestly sucking the life out of their offense. The passing game, typically a reliable source of yards for Detroit, was almost non-existent. Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio seemed to have the perfect game plan, confusing quarterback Jared Goff all afternoon. Goff had one of his worst performances of the season, completing a mere 14 of his 37 pass attempts. He was constantly under duress, feeling the pressure of a relentless pass rush that never gave him a moment to get comfortable in the pocket. His primary target, the usually dependable Amon-Ra St. Brown, was blanketed all day, catching only 2 of the 12 passes thrown his way, a statistic that honestly perfectly illustrates the Eagles' dominance. This wasn't a bend but don't break defense, it was a don't even bend performance. The Eagles controlled every level of the field. Media group: Eagles defensive line winning battle at line of scrimmage, Eagles linebackers making open field tackle, Eagles secondary, intercepting or breaking up passes stock could distribute equally. Their defensive line dominated the trenches, their linebackers flew to the ball, and their secondary locked down the Lions' talented receivers. It was a complete and total shutdown. The Eagles forced the Lions into long yardage situations, as evidenced by their poor 3-for-12 conversion rate on third downs. By taking away everything the Lions wanted to do, Philadelphia proved that in a league that celebrates offensive fireworks, an elite suffocating defense can still be the ultimate trump card and the key to winning big games. In a dominant defensive showing like this, it's often a collective effort, but several Eagles players delivered heroic performances with game-changing plays. The defensive front was the engine of this victory, and it all started with the big men in the middle, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. They were an absolute nightmare for the Lions' interior offensive line. While their impact doesn't always show up brightly on the stat sheet, their presence was felt on nearly every snap. Together, they combined for an incredible 5 batted passes at the line of scrimmage, turning routine pass attempts into chaotic fluttering footballs and disrupting the rhythm of Detroit's entire passing attack. The pressure on Jared Goff wasn't just coming from the inside, the edge rushers were relentless. A key contributor was Jalen Phillips, a recent acquisition at the trade deadline who was brought in to bolster the pass rush. Phillips made his presence felt in a big way, recording his very first sack as an Eagle. That play sent a jolt of energy through the stadium and served as a clear sign that the trade was already paying dividends. The other sack of the day came from linebacker Nakobe Dean, who shot through a gap and brought Goff down, further rattling the already shaken quarterback and stalling another potential Lions drive. Even when the Eagles' defense did give up a big play, they showed incredible resilience. Cornerback Adoree Jackson was a perfect example of this. He did surrender a 40-yard touchdown to the speedy Jamison Williams, a rare lapse for the unit. However, he didn't let the play define his game. Later, with the game hanging in the balance, Jackson came up with a crucial third-down pass deflection in the fourth quarter. It was a moment of redemption that showcased his mental toughness and ability to bounce back, which is really a trait that separates good players from great ones in the NFL. While the defense was putting on a show, the Eagles' offense did just enough to secure the win. They weren't spectacular, but they were efficient, and most importantly, they didn't turn the ball over. Their lone touchdown came in the second quarter on a classic Jalen Hurts play. A gritty, powerful 1-yard quarterback sneak. Hurts pushed his way into the end zone, giving the Eagles a lead they would never relinquish. With the defense playing at such an elite level, that one touchdown, combined with a few field goals, proved to be all the scoring Philadelphia would need to walk away with a massive victory. The impact of this 16-9 victory extends far beyond a single tick in the win column for the Philadelphia Eagles. This win dramatically reshaped the landscape of the NFC playoff race. Before the game, the Eagles' path to the #1 seed was uncertain. After this dominant performance, their chances of securing that top spot, and the home field advantage that comes with it, have soared to 50%. This is a monumental shift, as a loss would have plummeted those chances down to just 16%. With a strong history of postseason success at home, securing that top seed makes the Eagles' path to the Super Bowl significantly clearer and more favorable. For the Detroit Lions, this loss is a bitter pill to swallow. It drops their record to 6-4 and serves as a harsh reality check. After weeks of being celebrated as one of the league's elite teams, they were physically outmatched and outcoached. The defeat pushes them down to third place in the competitive NFC North Division and seriously damages their hopes of earning a first-round bye. Instead of fighting for the top seed, they now find themselves in a tougher battle just to secure a favorable playoff position, with the pressure mounting to bounce back quickly and prove this performance was an exception, not the new rule. Looking ahead, the Eagles can move forward with immense confidence. They have now proven that they can win in different ways. They can win a shootout, or they can, as they showed on Sunday, win a brutal, low-scoring defensive slugfest. This versatility is the hallmark of a true championship contender. Their defense has established a new, higher standard, and the offense, led by Jalen Hurts, did what was necessary without making critical mistakes. The team's identity as a tough, resilient, and physically imposing squad has been reinforced, sending a powerful message to the rest of the conference. Conversely, the Lions must now go back to the drawing board. This game exposed some potential cracks in their foundation, particularly in their ability to handle an elite physical, defensive front. Jared Goff's struggles under pressure and the offense's inability to execute in critical moments will be major points of emphasis in the coming weeks. The question for Detroit is whether this game was a one-off anomaly or a blueprint for how to defeat them. How they respond to this adversity will define the remainder of their season and determine if they are truly ready to take the next step and become a legitimate Super Bowl threat.